안녕하세요. 제5회 서울 바이오
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
오신 여러분 환영합니다.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the 5th Seoul International Biomedical Conference. We'll kickstart today's program with the welcoming remarks from Center Head Kang Dae-wook from KHIDI.
안녕하십니까 여러분 반갑습니다. 서울 바이오
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
제5회 서울
Very
바이오
nice to meet you. I am Kang Dae-wook from KHIDI.
세계적인 글로벌
On the second day of Seoul International Biomedical Conference, we welcome Johnson & Johnson, MSD, Novartis, and BMS to have a global open collaboration session.
오늘은 글로벌 기업의
The global pharmaceuticals going to present us with the latest trends and their efforts to support new innovation. Other than these global pharmaceuticals present today, Seoul BioHub is continuously working with a lot of different partners around the world to support a growth and development of Seoul biomedical startups. Thank you.
강대욱 센터장님 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Center Head Kang Dae-wook. We're now welcome Vice President Young-Ju Song from Johnson & Johnson Korea.
네, 안녕하세요.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Song Young-Ju from Johnson & Johnson. First and foremost, I'd like to
매우 기쁘게 생각합니다.
thank all of you for here, and I am very happy to see. Whenever autumn comes, I get together with the government officials, KHIDI and Seoul Metropolitan City, and also think of the challenge that we have operated over the past 5 years. In 2017, April, Seoul BioHub at this site was open. At that time, it was renovated, and industrial building was standing here as well. And on the same date, for the first foreign partner company, our partnering office was open here. I had expectations and concerns at the same time because we have startups companies, but I just wonder how many of them will show up. And then how can we expand the ecosystem of the bio industry in Korea? I had no idea. And nothing was clear back then. And on that day, the opening ceremony was attended by those people who thought that the future is not clear, but we all share the belief that it's going to be the ground from which all the venture companies may grow. And it was a kind of starting point. That was why we decided to cooperate together and wish for a success. And now here we are. 4 years later, we see a number of venture companies or startups operating here. And I see the logos of those companies who are working in these facilities to my kind of happiness. And there is no more concerns. Rather, I have growing expectations. Today, we have a global opening collabo event, which is very meaningful to all of us. 4 years ago, Johnson & Johnson was the only foreign global company or partner, but now, today, we have a number of global partners. In addition to J&J, Novartis, MSD, BMS, we are all together having this event together, which is very good, and I'm very happy to see all of you. And Novartis, I know that you have opened a partner office as well. Congratulations. Whenever we think of the biohealth, people say that it's going to be the growth engine for Korea. And biohealth startups are the ones who will drive the future growth for the Korean economy. But in reality, we face a lot of challenges as regulations and investment and others. But I believe that we can overcome those challenges, and in order to do that, we need to collaborate. Enterprises and universities and government, we need to work together in order to
될 것이라 믿습니다.
go to the next level and become a bio industry mecca.
글로벌 헬스 기업들이 추구하는
And we have biohealth industries and companies, and through the open innovation and collaboration, I believe that you can grow even further.
글로벌 협업을
And
통해
I
우리 미래를
hope
준비하는
today's
중요한
event
기회가
will
되길
seed
기대합니다.
the
마지막으로
plant
이 행사를
or plant the
준비하기
seed,
위해
and then you can
서울시
be nurtured from that. And last and not the least, I'd like to thank the organizing committee and people from the Seoul government for organizing this event. And as for the biohealth industries and companies or startups, we will do our best in order to make a further contribution. Thank you.
네, 부사장님 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Vice President. We'll now give the floor to Director Kim Eun-ha from Johnson & Johnson for moderation.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 오늘
Good morning.
김은하입니다.
I am Kim Eun-ha from Johnson & Johnson Korea, the medical department innovation team. I will be leading today's program. Johnson & Johnson operates in three major areas of pharmaceutical, medical devices, and consumer health. We provide diverse products to patients and healthcare professionals. As one of the largest pharmaceutical in the world, we are present in almost all of the countries in the world. Today, we're going to introduce what products and we have, what kind of innovation strategy we have, and how we are collaborating with Korean startups and innovators. Particularly, we have been holding Seoul Innovation Quickfire challenges for 5th consecutive years. And today we have 4 winners from previous years and this year with us today. So we're going to talk about how you can go international and you can be inspired by their stories in order to pursue new innovation. As first part of the program, we will welcome head of J Labs, the organization we operate as an incubator for Asia innovators as part of J&J Innovation. The head Sharon Chan will talk about the topic of advancing healthcare innovation and ecosystem development in Korea. And then Steve will go deeper into the specific collaborative areas. We have Sharon online. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. You can start when you're ready.
Fantastic, and good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to the government, and thank you for the organizing committee. And thank you to the audience for joining. So my name is Sharon Chan, head of J Labs at Shanghai at Johnson & Johnson Innovation. And it is my pleasure to be here to share with you a presentation on the way that we at Johnson & Johnson Innovation aim to advance healthcare innovation worldwide. The Johnson & Johnson family of companies, Johnson & Johnson, has reimagined health and well-being, as Eun-ha mentioned, for more than 130 years. We have pioneered world-changing, mind-opening solutions, always putting people first. From the founding of the company to making surgery sterols, to its heritage of disaster relief and supporting patients, employees, and the community through 2 world wars, pandemics, and times of economic crisis, Johnson & Johnson is built to help in times of great need. And at J&J, we feel we are an ideal partner for healthcare innovators as our business operates. Across our 3 business segments, pharmaceuticals, consumer health, and medical devices, and in more than 175 countries, leveraging more than 250 operating companies. And we're very proud and have more than 130,000 employees worldwide with expertise across science, health, business, supply chain, consumer as well, to reach more than 1 billion people worldwide. So how are we leveraging our deep scientific expertise, strategic capabilities, and global scale to deliver innovative solutions to people with unmet needs. Today, the healthcare challenges we face are more complex than ever. The bar is high to deliver truly transformational innovation. To continue serving the needs of our customers and patients, we have a relentless focus on innovation. In the past century, life expectancy has increased by approximately 60%. In large part, this is due to better understanding and management of disease. There are many examples of how scientific innovation has delivered significant progress. For example, in HIV, scientific advances of the past 3 decades have enabled many people with the virus to live a near normal lifespan and manage their disease with just one pill once a day. We are now harnessing the promise of sequencing the human genome by delivering targeted therapies and personalized solutions. Robotics and digital surgery continue to make surgical procedures less invasive, more precise, and data-driven, leading, of course, to better patient outcomes. Another example of a huge advance in healthcare is long-acting treatments that are enabling a shift in the paradigm of how chronic diseases are treated. For example, long-acting treatments for schizophrenia allow patients to manage their disease with just 1 injection per month, and sometimes even fewer. At the same time, tremendous challenges in healthcare remain and represent significant global burden. And these include chronic diseases such as cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and heart disease, as well as many diseases such as hepatitis and tuberculosis. In many parts of the world, safe surgery continues to be an unmet need. And of course, as we've all seen over the past year, pandemics such as the current COVID-19 pandemic have the potential to have a profound impact on our lives. There is much to be done to prepare the world for future pandemics. Our Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Paul Stoffels, has said it best. Innovation at Johnson & Johnson is about creating strong networks of people who can combine resources, ideas, and technologies in a new way. At Johnson & Johnson Innovation, our mission is to create and cultivate the world's most promising early-stage innovation, healthcare innovation, wherever it originates. So instead of asking fellow innovators to come to us in a central location that's convenient for us, we have embedded ourselves within hubs of innovation around the globe. On the map, from our regional hubs in Boston, London, San Francisco, and Shanghai, we deeply and actively participate in the external early innovation ecosystem around the world. Johnson & Johnson Innovation's diverse team of science and technology experts help life science startups thrive, and this fuels the global life science ecosystem through flexible customer partnership models and collaborations, early stage incubation, startup services and mentorship, and strategic venture capital investments. Our early innovation partnering teams located in our innovation centers help engage in scientific discussions, shape and facilitate early innovation collaboration and partnerships by identifying transformational early-stage healthcare innovation across the pharmaceutical, medical devices, and consumer health sectors, and then connecting these early-stage innovators to the scientific development and business expertise, experience, and resources of J&J with the aim to help accelerate product and technologies to markets. In Asia Pacific, we have built strong foundations for strategic collaboration and are delighted by the many collaborations and partnerships we've established to help nurture the local life science ecosystem. And here's a snapshot of our collaborations with publicly announced strategic partners in Asia Pacific over the past few years. Our global incubator network, Johnson & Johnson Innovation J Labs, provides early-stage innovators with access to capital-efficient lab space and resources. Through our 11 J-Labs and 2 J-Pod facilities around the world, we aim to support the incubation, growth, and optimization of R&D, providing entrepreneurs and startups with access to mentorship, community, industry connections, and entrepreneurial programs. At J-Labs at Shanghai, the largest in our global network and first within Asia Pacific, we're proud to have supported a total of 61 startups since opening in June 2019, innovating across pharma, medical devices, and consumer health. These companies have secured over $2.4 billion collectively in financing and strategic partnerships and collaborations, with many going on to do deals with Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson Innovation JJDC is the strategic venture capital arm of J&J and a long-term investment partner to healthcare entrepreneurs with over 47 years of strategic healthcare investing. JJDC provides investment capital and long-term support to entrepreneurs at all stages of discovery, clinical development, regulatory review, manufacturing, and commercialization. And in 2020 alone, we deployed over $500 million in capital. And our business development teams within J&J support mid and late stage collaborations with established companies through Janssen Pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and consumer health. Part of our vision at Johnson & Johnson Innovation includes identifying and investing in new disruptive approaches and platforms that focus on the convergence across healthcare to catalyze cross-sector R&D. This includes our World Without Disease Accelerator, WWDA, which is a unique enterprise R&D group aligned with global commercial expertise and is focused on the discovery, development, and delivery of disruptive products, technologies, business models, and partnerships to advance the elimination of disease. WWDA brings together distinct enabling capabilities in areas including the microbiome, immunosciences, predictive biomarkers, and behavioral neurobiology to seed transformative growth opportunities and catalyze a paradigm shift in prevention, interception, and cure strategies and solutions. This also includes the Cross-Sector Lung Cancer Initiative, LCI, at Johnson & Johnson, dedicated to transforming the standard of care for this devastating disease, with a vision to develop solutions that prevent, intercept, and cure lung cancer by developing holistic solutions through the pharmaceutical, medical device, and consumer sectors. So, how can we collaborate to accelerate innovation? When we think about partnerships and collaborations between startups and investors, we believe a collaborative approach is key. We collaborate and co-create at early stages of innovation with multiple inventors, entrepreneurs, scientists, researchers, and academics. We bring together J&J's technical and scientific knowledge alongside the expertise and capabilities of other partners to help guide the development process. We then use the multiple tools at our disposal to help fuel the idea, whether that be in the form of incubation or accelerators, new company creation, and/or other capital-efficient ways to de-risk the opportunity and advance the idea. When an opportunity is ready to be scaled, acquired, or licensed through to the best partners, these are all options that we continue to do to help advance the technology and to deliver it to patients and consumers around the globe. Today, our co-creation model aims to accelerate innovation by enabling access to the ingredients for success. And finally, part of our strategy has been to identify unmet needs and the areas that need investment in innovation to make meaningful change. Broadly, this spans across designated areas of interest across the pharmaceuticals, consumer health, and medical devices sectors. In pharmaceuticals, we are interested in immunology, neuroscience, oncology, cardiovascular and metabolism, infectious disease and vaccines, pulmonary hypertension and platforms. In medical devices, we're interested in surgery, orthopedics, interventional, and vision care. In consumer health, our key focus areas are in self-care and skin health. And the areas of interest in initiatives within integrated healthcare solutions cover across all three of our business areas. I'd now like to pass over to my colleague, Stephen Lee, Early Innovation Partner for North Asia, who will talk about the history of Johnson & Johnson Innovation Seoul Quickfire challenges. Thank you very much, and over to you, Stephen.
Thanks, Sharon. As some of you may know, this year we ran our 5th Seoul Quickfire Challenge. And outside the US, this is actually the longest consecutively running QFC. And it has certainly been a valuable platform to source and nurture development opportunities, as Sharon mentioned earlier, from the Korea external innovation ecosystem. We launched our first Seoul QFC in 2017, and the winners, New Wine and G-Power, are working on innovative solutions to address neurological disorders and skincare, respectively. In 2018 and 19, we focused on innovative digital solutions and robotics that can impact how healthcare is delivered and improve patient outcome. Winners Metapixel, Bilab, ImagoWorks, and Seoul are each making great strides in their respective spaces. Metapixel, for example, announced earlier this year that they secured more than $8 million in Series A funding. Seoul Health, on the other hand, is in the clinics, running trials for sleep apnea, COVID-19, and other indications. 2020 put the world on alert due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we invited innovators to submit healthcare solutions for the post-COVID era. Winners DC Medical and Deep Medi are developing mobile early diagnostic solutions that can be used in small clinics or at home. When the hospitals are overburdened trying to cope with the pandemic at hand, other patients not affected by the pandemic are often deprioritized. And these mobile solutions, I'm sure, will improve the way we deliver healthcare to our patients in the near future. This year's challenge focused on smart surgery. And yesterday, we announced the 2 winners, Skia and VPix Medical. Later, we'll be hearing from them, and I'm sure that you'll find their innovations very interesting and exciting. Korea's healthcare innovation ecosystem is growing and certainly making its mark in the global scene. And I look forward to engaging with you, the innovators, in our next Seoul Quickfire Challenge. But even before the next year's challenge is announced, if you're working on an early stage project that overlap within any of our areas of interest, please feel free to submit your non-confidential project summary at the link shown here for a chance to discuss potential collaboration opportunities. You can also subscribe to our weekly e-newsletter or follow us on WeChat for updates on our webinars or call for proposals. And speaking of webinars, we actually have one coming up on Wednesday, October 20th on accelerating innovation in orthopedics. I'll be speaking alongside my global DePuy Synthes R&D and Johnson & Johnson innovation colleagues on our vision for orthopedic care and our collaboration model to support companies that are developing early stage innovation across the medical device spectrum. We're also accepting applications to discuss your medical device solutions or technologies in a one-on-one meeting. So again, feel free to register from the link or QR code shown on this slide, and we look forward to getting to know you and working with you to make a difference for our patients and customers. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon and Steve, for your presentation. I believe this could be a great guide for innovators in Korea to seek and explore more collaboration opportunity with us. So Moving to the next session, our Q&A session, I have some questions here which we collected Seoul BioHub community in advance. So Sharon, are you there?
Hi, Yunha. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Give me 1 second so that we can see you while we are switching to your Zoom screen. Okay, got it. Okay, let me start with first question. We understand as head of JLabs, you are watching healthcare innovation in countries across Asia Pacific. Can we start by asking you, how do you view the innovation ecosystem in Korea?
Sure, thank you. I mean, that's a great question. South Korea is increasingly being recognized as a global leader in medical and technology innovation. And the innovation ecosystem is thriving for a number of reasons. Startups in South Korea have the advantage by being embedded in a thriving startup ecosystem that's actually been ranked first or second globally in the Bloomberg Innovation Index for 7 straight years, right? The country has had a huge advantage of strong infrastructure, government support as we see today, and growing excellence in the fields of digital and robotic surgery, skin health, and stem cells, as well as big data, precision medicine, and telehealth. So if you combine this with the opportunities, resources, expertise, and support provided by J&J and our partners in the Quickfire challenges, the Seoul Metropolitan Government, and KHIDI, we feel we have a great opportunity to better accelerate innovation across Korea and the world for the patients and communities we serve. Thanks, Eunha.
Thank you. Thank you for your recognition of the great potential of Korean healthcare ecosystem. Now, moving to our next question, can you comment on what J&J has been doing locally in Korea to build and strengthen the ecosystem?
Thanks. Well, with this question, we know that bringing a product to market isn't easy. And we believe all startups across the world face the same challenges and obstacles in developing their solution and bringing it to market. This is no different for Korean companies. In order to transform ideas from concepts to a commercially viable healthcare solution, everyone needs financial resources, facilities, expertise in regulatory policy, and commercialization. And Johnson & Johnson Innovation was created with the aim to provide these solutions to these very problems by, as Paul Stoffel says in my earlier presentation, we provide access to the networks, resources, and expertise that startups need to succeed. Thanks.
Thank you, Sharon. My next question is, let's talk more about Quickfire Challenge. This is our 5th year of Seoul Innovation Quickfire Challenge. Although we have the challenges all over the world throughout the year, this is quite unique. One city, Seoul City, is hosting the event in 5 consecutive years. So what's been your impression from the Seoul Innovation Quickfire Challenge, especially this year?
Thank you. Well, it is the 5th year and we're just as excited as every year. The public-private collaboration supporting these challenges makes them really stand out as a unique opportunity for startups as it combines J&J's unique vision for collaboration in an open innovation model with the Seoul Metropolitan Government's efforts to drive innovation and commercialize its research outcomes. KHIDI's professional and systems building support and the Seoul BioHub's ability to accelerate the development and commercialization of potential early-stage life science solutions. So year on year, over 5 years, we've been amazed by the quality of submissions, showing just how unique Korea's innovation ecosystem is. And this year's challenge was particularly exciting. With Asia Pacific considered to be the forefront in the global image-guided and robot-assisted surgical procedures market, this challenge on smart surgery was, for sure going to highlight some of the region's most promising startups and it certainly didn't disappoint. So we're definitely looking forward to investigate working closely with Biomedical and Skia with the aim to help develop their digital solutions in surgical oncology.
Thank you, Sharon, for your thoughtful comment. And also, we are very glad to hear that we are setting a good example of public-private collaboration for other parts of the world as well. Thank you. And my next question is, it's hard not to mention about COVID-19. Considering the changing environment we are facing today, especially at this time when we are talking about new normal and post-COVID-19, have there been any changes in your strategy to advance innovation efforts?
Thanks. This is I would say, a common question we often get asked. The challenges of the pandemic underscore the need to remain agile in everything we do, to learn from even the hardest situations and be ready to adapt to new ways of working when challenges come knocking. That's exactly the skill we're trying to leverage through our annual Seoul Innovation Quickfire Challenges to support the innovators who have adapted and who are using technology in new ways to respond to a new challenge. And internally, we're doing exactly the same thing. We've turned to technology in a way that we've never done before. And I'm sure that even after COVID, we will continue to rely on the new ways of working. As a regional Johnson & Johnson innovation team, we're working more closely than ever to engage more effectively with the innovation ecosystem through virtual meetings, hybrid meetings like this, and forums, and online scouting meetings. As a result, for example, we've welcomed 50 new companies to the J-Labs at Shanghai Resident Company portfolio this year, and we've assessed more new opportunities than ever in the areas of vaccines, antiviral therapeutics, diagnostics, and consumer health. Looking ahead, I see the importance of collaboration industry-wide to accelerate innovation. And we are already seeing how companies have become more open to collaboration in the face of the pandemic. I expect and hope that this openness will continue well beyond the pandemic to ensure that opportunities remain for the innovators with the early stage ideas that can make a transformational difference to healthcare. And I see an even bigger need for high quality, innovative healthcare products and services. So I truly believe that now more than ever, we need to be agile, leverage new ways of working, and partner as much as we can to make an even bigger difference for the health and well-being of people around the world. At J&J, we aim to lead the way in collaboration with fellow innovators in Korea and around the world. Thanks.
Thank you. I can't agree more with your positive view that even the crisis with this pandemic can create a new opportunity for innovators. Okay, thank you, Sharon. I have one last question, last but not least. Any final thought for the awardees and those interested in applying for the future QFC?
Great question, and what a way to finish. So our Quickfire Challenges aims to provide an important gateway for early stage innovators to access all the resources that startups might need, such as infrastructure, capital, expertise in science, and commercialization, and more. And over the last 4 years, we've seen the Seoul Quickfire Challenge awardees, as Stephen has described, make some outstanding progress. And it's great to have last year's awardees with us here today as well. So I think my advice to the 2021 awardees and to any healthcare startup is to have a relentless focus on transformational innovation, not just incremental innovation, in order to get funding and partnerships. My other advice is to be connected, to plug into the broader global innovation ecosystem for the resources and expertise needed to overcome your own hurdles to success. So whether you're a Korean company looking to take your science globally, or any company looking to enter China, the US, or Europe, Johnson & Johnson Innovation can help set you up for success by allowing you to focus on making the right connections and getting the resources you need. I strongly encourage Korean startups with exciting science or technology thinking about applying for future Quickfire challenges to take the leap and to do so. They're really a great opportunity for grant funding, lab space, mentorship, and access to our JLabs networks, and with it, a potential head start towards commercial success. In the meantime, please again, don't hesitate to reach out to us to apply for incubation at JLabs at Shanghai or to any one of our Asia Pacific Innovation Center colleagues to help explore opportunities for potential collaboration. We're truly here to help. And final words, all the best and congratulations to Skia and VPix Medical for being awarded this year's challenge. We really look forward to onboarding you at JLabs at Shanghai soon, and we truly welcome any other like-minded and early-stage startup with exciting science to come reach out and connect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon, for your all thoughtful comments and encouragement. As time is up, we have to say bye to you. Thank you again for joining us today, and we hope to invite you to Seoul BioHub to meet you in person without face mask sometime soon in the near future.
Thank you so much. I hope so too, to be able to travel. I miss you all and look forward to coming back soon. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
네, 다음은 이어서 저희가 지금 방금 소개해드렸던 퀵파이어 챌린지의 전년도 우승 기업들의 이야기.
Next, we are going to listen to the stories of the awardees of past year. And we have interviews of those two companies, or four companies. And shall we play the video? Of course, you have to go for it. Quickfire challenge, just join it. Quickfire challenge winner, if you say that, and people become different. I mean, they just treat us differently. Good afternoon. I'm from Biomedical life-saving company. My name is Park Byung-kwan. Hello. With the medical technology, we try to improve the quality of life. I am from Seoul. My name is Kim Jong-won. I am from G-Power, CEO Han Chang-hee. I'm with the DeepMedi. I'm the co-founder and researcher Jo Dong-hee. This medical has the technology to connect actually the technology and market. With the strong collaboration with the NHS of the Britain, we help the medical staff and the technical staff to concentrate on research. We decided to join it because we have a device to diagnose a premature birth. Our diagnosis has much more accuracy. Our company is in the skincare business. Try to help people have healthier skin. We have skincare devices and diagnostic devices for the skin. In 2017, we joined the Quickfire Challenge and became the winner to prove our technological capability and reliability. That helped us to start collaboration with the global companies. DeepMedi uses a lot of sensors of the smartphone to measure the physiological signals. We are a startup. We are focusing on the blood pressure. We continue to develop a technology for the blood pressure, and one of them is to measure the pulmonary blood pressure. And we joined it and became the winner. Connectivity of Johnson & Johnson and the support from the BioHub were very good. We got the approval from FDA after a few years of effort, and we were able to gain the approval of FDA because of the Quickfire challenge. It was of great help to us. The Seoul Bio Hub has provided a good amount of support to the bio startups. And we are the startups in the local market, but we are given opportunities to see the global customers. And it was thanks to the Quickfire challenge. After we became the winner of the Quickfire challenge, we have a different mindset. We thought of the domestic market only. After becoming the winner, we realized that there is a strong need in overseas market, and we are able to meet them. Ripple effect and visualization and technological capability and wonderful team build-up. As for those screening members, they tend to focus on the feasibility and also the ripple effect the new technology may have once it's released into the market. And we are able to present our ideas in a very appealing way. And our reliability of a wireless system was up to the level of the wired device. And when we make a team, we decided to have the team consisting of Korean members as well as the foreign members from the USA. And that has helped us to have a better communication. We were able to highlight our strengths much better because we had members from overseas as well. The technological capability were well mixed up or combined so that we can have a better teamwork. Quickfire challenge is something that you should join, and you will benefit from it a lot, much more than you expected. It's gonna be of great help to you, so don't hesitate, just grab the chance. Just make challenge. That's what I want to say to you. There are many questions you will be asked if you join the Quickfire challenge, and during the process of answering those questions, you will be able to identify the issues and challenges that you have, and also may understand whether I'm going in the right direction or not. Collaborating with the Johnson & Johnson and other big companies is a very good experience for us, and it's a very precious asset. So in the future, I want you to build a stronger network connecting us to the overseas market. We gain a lot of help from you, and I hope that you can continue to provide help to other startups in terms of networking and counseling or advice. Not only my company, but also other bio startups need to get support from you. I hope that more opportunities were given to them too. Seoul Bio Hub has given us a very good opportunity, and we were able to identify different ideas, and that was very good. 2021 Seoul Bio Conference, hope that you have a good, successful conference this year. Fighting.
Yes, thank you for the video. With the support of Johnson & Johnson Innovation and Seoul Bio Hub, all these companies successfully grew, and we feel proud of it. We feel proud to be part of it. They said they're small companies, but they're small but strong. They became kind of a prize for us as well. We are very much proud of what they achieved. We have two previous winners, Mr. Kim Hyung-gyu from Uine, winner of 2017 Quickfire Challenge, and Mr. Song Kyo-seok from Metropolitan. Thank you very much for coming today. I would like to ask you to give you a short introduction about your company. So our title for this session is Fireside Chat, to explain to you what it means. Fireside means sitting next to fire. It's fireplace inside a house, or it can be a fire at the camp. So instead of being too stiff and formal, we can be relaxed a little bit to talk about business and companies. So that's why we call this fireside chat. But to understand what you do, we are asking you to explain what your company does. Particularly, what motivated you to start the business and where you are now. So I'll give you 90 seconds. I will first ask Mr. Song from Metropolitan.
예. 안녕하십니까. 저는
Yes,
메디컬
I am CEO Song Kyo-seok from Metropolitan.
하고는 문제는
The problem that we are trying to solve is diagnosis and treatment of CVD. There are unmet needs in the field. We wanted to bring about innovation and efficiency in dealing with those CVD-related issues. To go into the details, CVD is #1 cause of death around the world. In diagnosing cardiovascular disease, we have many different methodologies, functional and functional diagnosis needs improvement, and we need to do before the fact diagnosis rather than after the fact, and we need to drive down the cost, and we need to increase efficiency. So after founding the business, we have been developing the technology for that for the past 4 years, and we didn't just stop at diagnosis. We also included a control technology to enable better intervention and better treatment. We were established in 2017, and we are the winner of second Seoul Quickfire Challenge. Since then, we enjoyed a lot of different achievements. We have products that were approved in Korea, and we are currently in the process of review from FDA, and we received Series A investment worth of 10 billion Korean won, and we are marching forward.
Thank you. It's very good to hear that you made a great progress. And let me introduce Dr. Kim from New Ain. Would you please introduce your company? Yes. My name is Kim Pyung-gu from New Ain. I'm a co-founder, and I'm in charge of strategy. And as for New Ain, our company, as for the chronic diseases, we do not have a cure for them. We have medications or surgeries, but as for us, we try to use a physical treatment so that we can improve the physical functions. So it's a kind of new way of a treatment. Glaucoma or facial paralysis are the indications that you are working on. We stimulate the neurogeneration, and what is interesting is that it's a wearable device. Our product is in wearable form, which means that you can use it at home. And we try to expand indications so it can be used in oncology as well. In 2017, we started with 4 people, and right now we have 30 staff who are working on different diseases. And working with hospitals, we are doing clinical research. And next year, for the dry eye, we are coming up with a new treatment for that. It's going to be released next year. And we have attracted a huge investment, and that will help us do clinical trials and develop more other products in pipeline. In order to penetrate the overseas market, we try to have systems and facilities which are built to some extent. And that's it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Quickfire Challenge is a program to support early-stage startups. Until those companies start to market new product, there can be a lot of obstacles and hurdles. In the first winner in New Ain have achieved great feat overcoming those obstacles. So we also are delighted to see you progress. So in in creative works, be it a drama or a novel or whatever, the starting point is really important, and there is always an inspiration and motivation. So when you think about when you decided to create a business, can you share what fit into your expectation? What didn't go as you thought? So when I first founded the business, when I think about what thoughts that I had, I don't think there were much difference now. It seems as if the world changed, and I co-founded the company with my partners. And I never thought my co-founder would leave this early. We said goodbyes to each other after only 2 years. And the indication we are currently doing were out of our thought. We never knew that we were target CVD. So everything changed. Nothing was as I expected. The biggest change was a change in indication. When we began, we tried to focus on diagnosis of lung cancer, and we pivoted after only a year to switch to cardiovascular diseases. So in retrospect, I think that pivot was crucial in our success, and the capabilities that we have has to do with CVD intervention. And there were a lot of unmet needs or challenges remaining in CVD or intervention. So in diagnosis and in treatment, we wanted to bring new innovation to the field of CVD.
I believe that you have gone through a lot of things and ups and downs and changes, and going through that, I believe that you have unchanging mission in you. What is it? Yes, the mission that I had in my mind remained the same over the years. What was lucky is that we have different members right now. We have a 26, which is much bigger from the beginning compared to the beginning, but we had the same mission, which has maintained the same over the years. And we wanted to utilize the AI that we have and connect it to the healthcare so that we can enhance the quality of life of the humans. That was our mission that we set at the beginning. Despite all the challenges that we have gone through when we started, and as for the medical devices, they are not released into the market right away after they are developed. It takes a long time for us to release them into the market. But as for the mission, they help us sustain our belief and continue to go into the market. Okay, same question to you, Dr. Kim. Yes. As for us, the chemical compound, the conventional ones, they cannot be used for, they are used in many different areas. And as for our new product of the electrosurgical, I believe that it can be used not only for the dry eye, but also in the oncological field. That's what we expected from the beginning. That has gone as we planned. So we have expanded our indications as expected from the beginning. However, the R&D environment of Korea or the healthcare industry infra, we have gained a lot of support. Thanks to the help, we were able to make a good progress much faster than we expected. So as for the R&D, our progress has been faster than we expected.
Yes, everyone has a story, and all the businesses also have their own stories. I've met a lot of startups and always ask this question. Do you regret you started a company? So yes or no question. Mr. Song, do you regret founding a business? So to give you the answer first, no, I enjoy the experience a lot, but sometimes I go to places to offer my mentorship or tips to entrepreneurs, but I always say it wouldn't unveil as you expected, and you sometimes will feel lonely, and you have to ask yourself, do I have strength to bear that loneliness? So it's a very lonely journey and long and difficult journey. If you can stand that tribulation, you have to stand up the challenge of starting a new business. So likewise myself, I sometimes shed some tears. I had drinks on my own, but still I had confidence in what I can do with my colleagues for the world. So if you that have in you, you can be a great entrepreneur. Yes, that was a great message.
It's important for you to have a technological capability, but at the same time, I believe that you have to have a strong will. Same question to you. Do you regret starting your business? We started in 2017. We are still here. We have survived, which means that I do not regret. And as he said, we have abided by our mission that make us lonely from time to time, but we share it with our researchers, try to make efforts to achieve our goal and mission. I actually enjoy what I do every day, and whenever I am challenged, I am ready to overcome them. Thank you.
So it's a more practical question. So if I am starting a business now, not then, I will do this differently from what I've done in the past. What would that be, Mr. Song? That is a very difficult question. So this is the second company I have founded. So I was working for this large enterprise, and I created the startup inside the company, and we had spin-off after that. So it was semi-entrepreneurship for me. It's the first company that I created. But it ended up in failure. In 4 years, I closed the business, and I jotted down key lessons learned back then. So if I start a business again, I shouldn't repeat these mistakes. And they were like 10 pages long in A4 paper size. So I looked through them. And what's interesting is the experience that I had in the past and the one that I have now, maybe they're fundamentally similar, but they're different. But new sets of issues, new sets of challenges arose. So if rather than just speaking about one thing I would do differently, in order to minimize trials and errors, to minimize the period of hesitancy, of course you have to go through trials and errors. You have to shorten that time span. So that is the most important part. So you start early and you go through trials and errors faster. Yes, so that was a very wise answer to a stupid question. Maybe you can share that 10-page long lessons learned with other entrepreneurs that will help other entrepreneurs save pain and time. Same question to you, Mr. Kim.
What would you do differently if you started your business today? Anything? Personally, I believe that it's a very difficult question to answer because I do not have that much experience. Actually, I started my company very young. Unlike him, this is my first business. And then as for me, I thought of what the entrepreneurship is. And recently I got married, and I thought that business is much more like a marriage. And one of my seniors told me that if you get the marriage the first time, it's very difficult. If you get married a second time, you have lessons that you got from the second marriage, but in the second marriage, you get more mistakes. You make more mistakes in the second marriage. That's my senior told me. But as for my business, when I think of the beginning days of my company, I believe that depending on the situations and environment, there might have been different outcomes. So I do not regret of what I have done. But next time, if I do launch on something new, I believe that I will try to do better communication with those people that I work with, and then try to go for it, working with others together. Okay, listening to you, it seems that there is no one single right answer to the issues or challenges that you face, but whenever you face challenges, you need to try to find the solutions to that. And shall I ask you next question? From the video clip BioHub and Quickfire challenge, it seems that they have a very good impact on the winners. Funding and mentoring, and there were other benefits provided to you. But as for those of you, you joined the community. And would you tell me what kind of value that you got from the community? I'm going to change the order sequence. Would you please answer this question first? Yes. As for us, we produce medical devices and we do research many different areas, which means that we work with experts of different fields and we get outcome by working with them. As for BioHub and Johnson & Johnson and Quickfire Challenge, through that we are able to see the bigger world. You have opened our vision, and you have provided us some bridge to connect with other people. And not only physically, but also we were able to get connected through your networking, and we were able to get advices from you, which was good. Which means that we were able to learn from their experiences, and they share their trials and errors and mistakes, which helped us to solve the questions or issues that we have. So it was of great help. Thank you.
Mr. Song?
창업 2년 차에
So in our second year after founding the business, we won Seoul Quickfire Challenge, and was a really great event for us. It was really fortunate. It was right after we pivoted our indication, and we received a lot of benefits. The funding, the money itself, was not important. The bigger benefit for us was to be able to communicate with Johnson & Johnson community, and we received a lot of practical mentorship from them. We had bi-weekly conference calls with them, and those experience and the benefits that we gained after being a winner of Quickfire Challenge was invaluable. We started to feel confident that our products would be meaningful, not just in Korea, but worldwide. All the hospitals in the world who are doing cardiography or cardiovascular intervention, they would have our business. And there were a lot of procedures, administrative works that we had to take care of. We were not that knowledgeable about them. But after being a winner of Seoul Knowledge Seoul Quickfire Challenge, we were able to learn a lot from the support system and the information they have provided us. So we realized step by step we have to equip ourselves with those capabilities as well. So there was a really great soil that we can grow from, and I started to really aspire to become a global company, and it reap the fruit of being a company that is receiving investment from global investors. So it was a great opportunity for us. Yes, thank you. So administrative support offered by Seoul BioHub and resources given you as a winner of Quickfire Challenge. It is great to hear that you benefit from them a lot. And your perspective on the market that you can go after was also expanded, and we are very delighted to be helpful in that. We're going to move on to the next question.
We met first time 4 years ago, but can you imagine where you would be in 3 or 4 years? What's your vision?
So I'm an engineer as trained. So I'm a very simple person. The biggest dream as an engineer is the product that I created should be used by people around the world. So my customers are doctors, particularly cardiologists who are do interventions. So in 3-4 years of time, my goal is that my products will be used by at least 100 hospitals around the world. In 10 years' time, maybe as part of diagnostic and therapeutic solution, my product will be used by almost all the hospitals around the world who does cardiovascular intervention.
What about you? Within 3 years, we will complete the development of the product. So as for those products in the pipeline, I hope that they will go into the market worldwide, benefiting many different people in the world. So we will continue to work on developing new products, and then 10 years later, our goal is to distribute it and expand its indications. As for the electroceuticals, it can have expanded indications. So to achieve the goal, we are working on a project so that we can manage the health status of the people even before they develop any illness. And diagnostic tools are covered, but at the same time, people can use our system to remain healthy. So we are going to have a system and platform that develop to help people remain healthy. Thank you. It's very good to hear that in 3, 4, or 10 years, I hope that your products are used in the market by a lot of people. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your sharing thoughts and experience with us today. And I believe that the audience, those of you who want to start a business, I believe that your remark and experience and your interview can be of great help to them. Thank you.
네, 다음 순서로 넘어가겠습니다.
So moving on to the next part of the program. Yesterday, we announced winners for this year's Seoul Quickfire Challenge. So we are going to now welcome 2 winners of 2020 Seoul Innovation Quickfire Challenge. So first is Biomedical, which focuses on introducing a solution that can enable biopsy on the intra-operative biopsy. Yes, I'm Kyungmin Hwang, CEO of Biomedical.
저희는 5년 차 된 헬스케어
So
스타트업입니다.
we are a 5-year-old healthcare startup. We are introducing real-time total pathology platform for surgical oncology. For surgery, particularly for smart surgery and digital surgery, I believe our product is a great fit for smart surgery. In our view, the form of surgery is evolving. There was open heart, open surgery, and recently, from a recent future, this trend is switching to less intrusive surgery like laparoscopic or robotic surgeries. Going beyond laparoscopic surgery, robotic surgery started to emerge as a strong trend. Digital surgery, smart surgery is the next frontier of the future of surgery. Many different trends that I've mentioned are converged here. This is new platform for surgery. So with robotic surgery, you can conduct minimally invasive surgery, and if you can add to that remote surgery, you can create and achieve smart surgery with optimal outcome. And with more data available, remote surgery will be made possible. And digital surgery is an area where Johnson & Johnson is taking keen interest. And you can see the global market is growing very rapidly. But nonetheless, we are focusing on cancer surgeries. Cancer surgery is all about removing all the cancer cells out of a patient's body. That is the outcome that all the surgeons want. The surgeons move cancer cells depending on their senses. They see, touch, and feel the tissues and cells, and using their experience, they remove those cancer cells. That is the key to successful cancer surgery. But in the future, as I mentioned, inevitably, the surgeon, we cannot really depend solely on surgeons and senses. And we believe we can suggest something that can replace eyes and hands of a surgeon. So the key to the changing trend of the smart surgery is the ability to ascertain that no more cancer cells remain in the body. You usually turn to biopsy to decide whether or not the surgery is completed. But the biopsy or the pathological procedures taken for that is one of the oldest procedures that have been unchanged from the past. So surgeons need to take out a sample from a patient lesion, send it to pathology, and they freeze it and cut it and stain it to gain an interpretation. So it takes at least 20 to 30 minutes to get the results for surgeons. Because of this, it takes a long time and requires a lot of labor, so workload for pathology is high, and surgeons have to wait at least 20-30 minutes during the surgery. And it also compromises efficiency of operating surgical rooms at the hospital level. So what we propose, the product is C-cell. This is very ultra small microscope. So handheld probe can be inserted to see the desired area or the region of body. So this is a microscope tool, and it can be extended to many different cancer types. Traditionally, tissues were sampled and sent to pathology, but the digital microscope can brought to the contact with tissue and it is scanned digitally. The tissues are scanned and 100 micron level of visibility can be gained, and the digital imaging of tissue is provided to a surgeon. It shortens the time cycle, and surgeons can have access to unlimited amount of digital images, and it can be sent out real time to pathologists who are outside the surgical room. Using CCell, the outcome of surgery can be enhanced, and surgeons can enjoy greater convenience. So we focused on developing hardware of digital biopsy appliance and remote system for image transfer and outcome sharing is also part of our future plan for development. And we have ex vivo product and also in vivo products. The concept for the product lineup is this. Ex vivo diagnostic is the tissue will be separated from a patient body, and you can engage a dye, and after 1 or 2 minutes, if the head of the microscope brought closely to the tissue, you will be able to see the results. And in vivo, you apply safe dye to a human body directly, and then you can look at it through a microscope. It takes less than a second. This ultra-small microscope can fit it into a laparoscopic hand or robot hand. So it can be developed in a way that's become compatible with robotic arm. It can act as if they're part of surgeon's eyes or arms or hands. So it can play a very important role in bringing about new future for surgical oncology. When this product is adopted at a hospital, pathologists can have greater efficiency, surgeons can conduct operations faster with greater precision, and hospitals can save more lives. As I mentioned before, the microscope can be produced in a very small form factor with diameter of 2.6 millimeter. Compared to other companies, in terms of definition and size and precision, our products are superior. Biomedical was founded in December 2016, and we have received about 7 billion Korean won of investment, and our technology is well recognized in the market. In 3-4 years of time, we seek to become even greater, and we will not stay until we reach our goal. Looking at recent statistics, 20% of the patients who received cancer surgery suffered recurrence and had to go through second round of cancer surgery. So this brings a lot of pain to patients because they have to go through multiple surgeries. The reason for recurrence is residual cancer cells inside the patient body. So this urgent biopsy pathology platform will change this paradigm. If a faster diagnosis can be done inside the operating theater, I think we will be able to prevent people from having a second or third round of cancer surgery and bring health to greater population. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Smart surgery was the theme for this year's challenge, and I believe that it was very innovative technology, deserve winning. the price. And as for the VFX medical technology, I believe that it can change the picture of the operating table in the future. And next, I'm going to invite the second winner, Skia. They use augmented technology for the operation so that they can identify the lesion for resection. They have used the augmented technology which were used in the game industry, which was very interesting. Would you please make your presentation and introduce your product?
네, 안녕하세요. 스키아이 이종명입니다.
Good morning. My name is Lee Jong-myung from Skia. I'm the last presenter.
스마트한 어떤 수술 환경을 만들기 위한
We try to create a very smart healthcare environment. We come up with new devices for that. To the left, this is what looks like in the operating room. As for the surgeons, they rely on the images on the screen, trying to find the lesions and imagine the lesion. But what we look for is to allow the doctors to identify the location of the lesion in the 3D image. So we developed such a solution. So from the Korean FDA, our medical device has been approved as a second-grade medical device. Right now, we are coming up with a solution for the breast surgery and facial surgery, reconstruction, urology, and orthopedics. Let me first talk about the solution for the breast cancer. The current process is as follows. Radiologists, they use ultrasonic to mark the location of the lesion using the pen. But if the lesion is very big, very small and deep, then they use a wire location approach, which is very painful to the patient and inconvenient and risky to the patient. And in the operating theater, the surgeons rely on the marking and the CT image to find the location of the lesion. And as for the patient, many of the patients are in the early phase, which means that the lesion tends to be very small. And it takes a long time for the doctors to find the lesion. And some of the papers say that out of all the breast cancer patients, 10% of the patients need to get resurgery, or second or third surgery, or their lesions are over or excessively resected. So as for us, we try to find the solutions for that. This is a 3D and CT slide, and automatic modeling can be done using our technology. And in the operating theater, you can scan the body of the patient real time. This is what is scanned. All the data are matched together and conformed, and using the augmented reality technology, you can see the lesion. So the location and shape of the lesions can be identified relying on the CT images. So it's like a 3D image, and they do use it for the operation planning. So marking is done by the surgeon. Our solution has a viewer software and stereo sensor built hardware. So on the viewer, they get the image from the POCs in the hospital, so they can dissect all the lesions images, and all the images are processed to create a 3D image, and going through the AR process, they can find the lesions. So as for those areas marked red, the radiologists do the marking. So they do the segmentation semi-automatically, and the contour of the body is masked, and then the 3D modeling mesh is created in the end. And once the modeling is got ready, all the scanned data got together and conformed and superimposed together. What differentiates our technology from others are the markers. In augmented reality technology, the AR markers are often considered as inevitable. So this is what differentiates our technology from others. Marker detection is very quick and easier when finding it. And when we do use the marking approach, it's difficult to fix it on the body. And let's say that if you go a long way from the marker, the accuracy declines significantly. So the marker is fixed for the bone of the animal, and then it shows you the camera and marker are all fixed, but still the images are shaking because the gradients are calculated by the computer, but whenever the camera moves, the images which are conformed can be distorted. So we decided to discard the marking approach and try to get a new approach, but it was very difficult. As you see, the body, it doesn't have any landmark, and it doesn't have any orientation information. So as for the computers consider it as a just chunk of the flesh. So we try to find the landmark first. And on the real-time scanning data, and the deep learning algorithm will help us to find the orientation of the body. And once we went through that, we tried to upgrade the confirmation of the image, and this is what we did. This is a nipple detection, the algorithm that helps us to find the location of the nipple. And using the scanned data, we find the orientation of the body, and this is what we tested. And this wasn't enough. Last but not the least, we tried to get the contour scanned data and use it as a kind of biomarker. However, those areas that are subject to deformation or changing the shape are excluded. So biomarkers that we identify are the ones that tend to stay the same, such as a clavicle and sternum. Based on that, our coordination accuracy has improved quite significantly. We also applied for the patent, and 2 of them are registered in the U.S. Patent Office. Not using the marker has a lot of benefits. As for the markers, you have to take an invasive approach to fix it into the body and other areas. And then, once you are on the operating table, you have to calibrate to find the marker's location accurately, which is very cumbersome. But as for our approach, we just scan the body, which means that you do not need to change your surgical procedures. And it can be used for the surgical research purposes as well. So this application can be used across many different organs, and then we can use it in combination with other devices. Inside the abdomen, what do we see? What can you see using our approach, technology? This is not segmented yet. Liver, lungs are presented this way, and the bones, you can see the solid bones quite well. And we are collaborating with doctors in many different specialties. In Asan Hospital, for the facial reconstruction, the AR image is used for the facial reconstruction, and we are doing the research with them together in Jungang University. Using the extracorporeal shockwave, they identify the stone, and they use a C-arm image, but we decided to replace it and make the stone removal process much easier. And at the Jungang University, we are working with orthopedic doctors as well for the knee therapy. And in addition, we are developing the AI algorithm too. So these are the coordinates and all the factors, and try to train the machine learning and AI. And whenever the subject changes its shape, the lesion location is kind of adjusted depending on the change of the shape or surrounding tissue. We also can track the vessels and color them. We will launch clinical trials. We got the trial approved from Korean FDA, so clinical trial will be launched in the near future. We have team members who have more than 20-year experience in different fields, and we started our company with them. Johnson & Johnson Quickfire awarded us. Thank you for that. We have many different companies since our BioHub. We expect to do a lot of collaboration with them too. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Lee, thank you very much for the very interesting presentation. We have now come to the end of Johnson & Johnson session. As we explained, the door of Johnson & Johnson Innovation is wide open to the innovators in Korea. Please contact Johnson & Johnson Innovation or Johnson & Johnson Korea office so that we can meet more of Korean innovators. Thank you very much for your participation. Goodbye.